Welcome to Awaken Human, where we rebirth sovereignty into your true self, bridging together mind, body, and spirit as we experience Earth as a soul in the human body, sharing channeled messages from ascended masters and our awakening journeys, including my own. I'm your host, Maeve. Let the journey continue. Welcome to another day of being an awakened human. Today I'm going to be sharing a channeled message about inner child work and getting to the root of these wounds and subconscious programmings. And this one's going to be a little bit different. I'm actually going to read it. This is my last one that I'll be sharing while I'm out of town in Glastonbury and have pre-recorded. I wanted to share this though because it's one of my favorite analogies that the Ascended Masters gave, and it just speaks so many volumes to what I see as and have seen as a therapist about the depths of sometimes clients will get to a place in healing a certain belief or program, but then it comes back up and not all of it has been fully healed or fully released. And so I think this analogy that they give that explains our healing process as this beautiful garden and what happens when you pull weeds, which I'll be reading this in just a moment, but it's one of my favorite analogies that they've used with nature and how it relates to our healing process. And I think there's just a lot that we can unpack in this and think of because within our healing, sometimes we can release so much and then another layer of it gets shown. And then sometimes there's a layer, but it's also like, here's the opportunity for you to witness yourself in this new way. And so then you're getting to fill it with love or peace or joy or coming at a situation without reacting and responding to it instead. And how can you stay in that new knowing and learning? So I think that this analogy can just be used in so many different ways and so many different layers. And this is one of my older channeled messages before I was recording any of the audio versions. This one, I think I had done voice to text. And so I have the text version. I tried to look for any recordings, but I couldn't find it. So I must have just been doing voice to text at this point. So I really just love this one. So I want to go ahead and read it. I invite you to close your eyes, go inside, and receive whatever is in your highest good at this time. Okay. All right. We are with you. We see you doing this inner child work, and we know that this brings up a lot of feelings that are indeed moving through your body. You're making connections and understanding these aspects of yourself that have been holding you back in the areas that you want to excel and shine in. Know that you are worthy. Know that by doing this, you are releasing lower vibrations within the body and allowing you to anchor in higher aspects of yourself that you've not been able to feel and experience up until this point. Trust that this is all serving you in purposeful ways to connect and bring in energies that will anchor and align you into the divine self. You do not need to worry about if you're doing enough. You are doing very well, beloved. This work requires you to feel a certain level of density held within your body that is anchored to not only this life, but other lives. Understand that this comes with weight and a heaviness that feels quite uncomfortable to feel. You have not been with these you have not been without these aspects of yourself for quite some time, or they were not just quite ready yet to be felt. Your body allows you to release in levels. There are levels to the unraveling of your healing. Some of the roots are able to be pulled easily, just like with the weeds. Some of them are more anchored in from the root into the earth that require more attention and detail when you're trying to remove them. Understand that this is how the mechanisms of healing work when you are addressing these programs at the level from the root. Sometimes you might even try to pull the weed and the root does not come out. You may need to try again another season when it regrows. This can be contributed to many levels and many aspects. For example, maybe that root and that programming is necessary to continue for the soul's evolution at that time. And another root needs to be attended to first instead. Go back to the garden, maybe it adding some extra flavor to the way it looks, as it appears to be a weed that needs to be removed, and yet it actually holds so much beauty if it were to stay there and be extracted at another time that will serve a better purpose because it will give a higher understanding. You will be able to pull it out with a deeper gratitude and a space of love if you connect it to the attachment of another root, or the root doesn't come out because you see it connected to a later age when really the root started in the womb. We could go on and on with this analogy to apply to the energetics of these programs and limitations within your humanness, but for now, we think you do understand what we're alluding and saying to here. Know that these healings can be a process, and while yes, there can be a quickness to the dissolving of them, you do not go out into your garden and remove all of the weeds within 5 minutes. Sometimes it is 5 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, and sometimes it can be days of returning. You may pull the weeds out and add some beautiful plants or some rocks to fill in the spaces. But with each aspect that you go back and tend to, you are creating and adding in more of the depth and the vastness that you are. Tend to your garden and see it grow into the magic that is intended to be. You are the garden, every aspect of it to be seen. Know that each function has its part, where the dirt has its foundation in the earth, the weeds, how it moves through each season, the bushes, the shrubs, the flowers, the rocks, through the brick built as barriers. It is all a part of its beauty. We will leave you with this for now, and we leave you with love. So take a deep breath and let all of that go. Coming back into yourself. Yeah, so I just really love this analogy. And I find that in my own growth, that sometimes I'm just so ready for something to be gone and for it to not come back up or to not have that experience. And maybe I have learned or healed some aspects that I needed to, but there's another layer within it that I was missing. And so I needed another version of that experience to fully get to the root or to fully let it go. And sometimes I've thought maybe it started in my 20s, but maybe it was something in the womb, as I shared in my awakening story. I shared that I had this belief that I stressed people out. And I thought that from just my needs or my beingness that I stressed people out, and I would see this happen in especially like romantic relationships in my 20s, but I realized I adapted this program later. Realized I adapted this program actually from the womb, from having a mom who had me at an early age and didn't have the resources, or and when I say resources, I mean monetarily and within the nervous system to process emotions and regulate. And well, that's not the state of my relationship with my mother now, and have such a beautiful relationship with her. That was something that was playing out in my relationships that I didn't realize until later was actually coming from experiences in the womb. And the other thing I love about this is like the flowers or the bushes, trees there, they get to be replaced with like the love and light and nourishment of this that can become this like most magical. I'm going to leave that. Um, my dog. Okay. Um, yeah, but that comes with this most magical when we replace. I lost my train of thought, but going back to the trees and plants and all of these things that we put in our gardens once the weeds have been put in are just this the semblance of love and light that gets to come into our bodies. And so I just love this analogy because the dirt, like it's even still supporting the foundations to be built upon and grown with these things that these plants that are more beautiful. I think this is just such a beautiful analogy about our own healing process and the gardens we get to grow and let go of the pieces that invade us and take over, from bringing more of that love and light into our own space, our own body, our own vessel. So, just sending you all so much love. I love you, and I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Thank you for tuning in to Awaken Human. I hope this empowered you on your spiritual awakening and knowing thyself. The key to awakening lies within each of us, and by embracing our authentic selves, we create a brighter, more compassionate world. If you like this episode, share your story and tag me. Don't forget to subscribe for future episodes and leave a review or comment. Until next time, may you continue to awaken to the infinite possibilities within.